Hi, I'm Cass.
Hi, and I'm Felix.
And this is
The
podcast.
Ah, yay. We did it like the Try Guys.
We did! Shout out to the Try Guys. Okay.
So, what are we talking about today?
So we are here to review movies. And today's movie is Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. So the first one.
The first one, yeah. And I still can't spell Caribbean. I don't know about you.
Yeah, is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
I don't know. We gotta talk to Disney about that.
I think for the movie it's Pirates of the Caribbean, but you can say Caribbean or Caribbean.
Yeah. Can we talk about how this movie came out in 2003 too?
Right? I was in 3rd grade. I was so small. It was this little girl who was just running around crushing on Captain Jack Sparrow at 9.
Wow. That's 9-year-old Cass crushing on Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, Cass always, young Cass always had a crush on Johnny Depp. Shout out to my boy. But let's also talk about how this movie was 2 hours and 24 minutes, and I don't remember it being that long at all.
I don't remember it being that long at all, because I could have sworn it was like a kids show. I mean, a kids movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've seen Monsters Inc. and I could have sworn it's an hour and 30, and I thought the same thing here too,
Yeah. I thought so too. I was like, oh, maybe it's an hour and 40 max, but it was not. It was long as fuck.
Yeah.
And also would like to say that I think the second Pirates of the Caribbean is better than this one. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. That's the one I thought we were watching, and that's the one I remember most from growing up, because it's the one with it's Davy Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the octopus and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But
not that this one wasn't good. But.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's definitely what kickstarted my love of pirates.
Okay.
And it definitely, there are some scenes that we were going to talk about in a little bit where it definitely takes me back a little bit to Disney World, where, they do have the ride.
Yeah.
And,
I wrote down some notes about that too.
Yeah. Especially when they're in Tortuga and they're all drunk and there's prostitution and fighting and bars and you remember that scene?
Yes. Were you talking about in the ride or in the movie?
Both, but they both they just co-mingle.
I guess, yeah. The scene that I 100% clearly remember from the ride is when all these men are in the jail cell and they're trying to get the keys from the dog.
Oh yeah.
And then after this movie came out, I remember that they added Captain Jack Sparrow. So then you'll see Captain Jack Sparrow throughout the ride, which I thought was super cool because once again, me, and Johnny Depp. But yeah, this movie, it's good. It brings you back to your childhood. And this definitely kickstarted my love for pirates. I went to Disney and I was not wanting to be super girly and buy all the princess stuff. But I did buy all the stuff that said pirate princess and had little pink gemstones, but also skulls on it. And I was I love this.
Yeah. Let me just interject real quick. So definitely... It's a great ride. I think it's probably even better in the summer because you don't want to be outside.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
The line is pretty cool too because you kind of walk through a jail and it's kind of you're walking through a cave or something. But I will say one time we rode the ride for Christmas time and the ride broke. And we broke in front of the scene where Jack Sparrow is there and he's collecting all his coins towards the end of the ride.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And I could have sworn I heard him say the same shit 6 times. And there was a point where I'm just did I just hear something differently or is that just in my head? And I think it's just really in my head. But yeah, definitely. Oh, my mom actually went that time. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah, she could appreciate that. But yeah, so I guess we're going to go over from start to finish.
Yes, definitely.
And towards the end, I guess we're going to make some mentions towards some of the other movies and maybe for sure. Talk about other things but can we just talk about how this movie legit opens up with Elizabeth Swann singing as a little girl. You know, you were talking about being a little girl, right?
Yeah.
And she wanted to be a pirate, so, you know, 101 right there. Same person. I can't say I've seen Elizabeth Swann and you at the same room at the same time, so...
Wow, we might just be the same person.
But yeah, she's just singing and about pirates.
Yes.
As a little girl. And where's her dad? Or...
He's on the boat, no?
Is
With
he?
her. Yeah, then he tells her, like, to go take care of the random boy they just found.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, very
but, like,
true.
it's so true. She's literally like, I think it'd be exciting to meet a pirate. And excitement she received. Because, like, 5 seconds later, this boy just, like, washes up on a wooden plank. Mm-hmm. And they just, like, take him into
Titanic.
their boat. What?
Hashtag Titanic.
That's so true.
But also, you know, if that wouldn't have happened, that's it. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah. But they just take him into, you know, their boat. And they told this 12-year-old, maybe, I'm going to say she was 12-year-old little girl, to take care of this 12-year-old strange boy that just floated in the water and they fished out.
Yeah.
And
The calmest
like,
waters, too. Like, these waters are so calm, it's like a pool.
Yeah, it's just like, do. And then she's like, oh, yeah, for sure. Like, yes, let's leave the 12-year-old watching the other strange 12-year-old. Like, what? And he's, like, nearly dead. She's like, they're like, watch over him. And she literally stands on top of him and watches over him.
Yeah. Like, also, and then you get introduced to the captain, right? Or the lieutenant is how they like to call it. And this motherfucker's, like, 30 years old. And he wants to propose to her later?
Yeah, that's true.
Yo, I know times have changed. That's true.
He's already pretty old.
Yeah, he's like older than me in that scene.
You're right. I didn't think about that when I was watching it.
It's like, Elizabeth, I have feelings for you. Bro, for how long? How long?
Since she was 12? That's called pedophilia, sir.
Like, yo, I know.
Sir.
Hey, I know times are different now, right? It's ain't the 1570s, but hey, you know.
It was yeah, I actually didn't put that together, but now that you're saying it, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Also, this is a dream though, because she wakes up and that's the end of that scene, and she's in bed, and actually, you know, this is where her father comes in, and this scene gets me because he literally walks in, right? He like knocks on the door, the maid's there, and he's like, "Elizabeth, are you decent?" It's like, yeah, decently in bed, bro. Like.
It's true. And then he just gifts her this corset dress, which is lovely. And she's like, what's the reason? And he's like, there's no reason. Like, I just wanted to give you something. And then, of course, there was a reason. And he was just like, but it would be nice if you could attend this event because I want you to marry this man who is way too old for you, sweetie. But all right.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm told it's the latest fashion in London. And
what a clown.
But then here's what gets me. Elizabeth, legit. Well, women in London must have learned to not breathe.
Yes. And literally everything in this movie truly happens because she could not breathe in that dress. Like, this series of events that unfold, it's like she could not breathe in this dress.
Yeah.
So then just everything happens. Like, Captain Jack has to, like, just, you know, dive, which he does a 10 out of 10 dive, if I may add. Like,
Olympic gold medalist right
there. That
was
beautiful.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, gets her out of the sea, and then they're like, well, let's not kill him. Just everything that happens is because her dress was too tight.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I mean, everything does happen for a reason, I guess. But I digress, because once she's given this dress and she runs downstairs, she literally goes up to Sir William Turner and is like, I had a dream about you last night. And I was like, well, that was a bold move, girl, but good for you.
Yeah. And she's already wearing this corset, so she can't breathe, so it's not like he's going to take her breath away. So.
No, and I mean, she looked stunning. She looked great. I mean, if I looked like that, I too would be running around telling everybody, I had a dream about you last night, because they'd be like, well...
Yeah, I might get a corset after that, actually.
I think it would look good on you. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, day one at the gym. Hey, I think I could wear that corset.
Oh my goodness. Then we are introduced to, well, not introduced, but then, you know, we really get into Captain Jack Sparrow. And in my notes, I wrote Captain Jack motherfucking Sparrow. Yeah. Eyeliner and all.
Yeah.
And he truly set off, you know, me as a small child. And all the men wearing guy liner at that time. You know, I was just attracted to each and every one. And I do believe that, you know, Jack Sparrow was the start of this all. And then, yeah, he's just majestic from the beginning. Like, his ship is sinking, it's going underwater, and he's just majestically at the top of that. And
yeah. Hey, you know, snaps and claps for the camera angles, because you don't really know until it's sinking until it's at the dock.
Yeah, that was such a good angle. You're so right.
Yeah, and then he wants to go by the name of, like, John Smith, or...
He just says, I think he says he doesn't have a name at all.
Yeah, because, like, the guy at the docks is like, oh, you can't dock that here, you need to pay, what's your name?
Yeah.
He's like,
and
what
he's
if
like,
I give you 3 shillings for no name?
And then the guy's like, okay, Mr. Smith, and, like, that's it. So he's just like, all right, I'll go with it. Then...
Also, like, quick thing, like, what is he doing in this island? Like, how did he, you know, why that island, you know? Because I'm guessing there's more than, like, 10, right?
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe he had, like, an inkling that that's where he had to go.
Yeah, I don't remember if they do talk about that.
I don't know.
I know they go to like, Tortuga later to get, like, a ship and
a
crew and all. Like, that makes sense, because it's, like, lawless, you know? But I don't remember why he's there. Like, it's not like he had an inkling for...
Maybe he did.
Maybe.
But yes, then he finesses those 2 guards that are just ridiculous, and then that's when he, like, does his beautiful Olympic dive to rescue Miss Lizzie Swan.
Let me stop you there. So I do have this in the notes, and then it literally, the captain is like, you know, it's the 40-year-old pedophile asking Elizabeth about, you know, a marriage, and he's like, oh, you know, now that I'm Commodore, right? Commodore, you know, I haven't seemed to have achieved this in my life, right? So he's literally asking Elizabeth, you know, will you marry me? And then she's like, I can't breathe. And then the captain's like, yeah, I'm a bit nervous myself.
And she's like, no, I can't breathe. Passes out. You're right, that scene was so good. He's like, yep, I'm pretty nervous. I'm like, sir, she cannot breathe.
Yeah, and then she gets into the water, because you said, like,
you
know, the corset is just choking her up. More than the proposal.
She just can't breathe, like, at all. Like...
And it's hot as hell out there. It's like Miami heat.
Yeah, and it's, like, long sleeves. And then Homeboy saves her.
Yeah.
And I really like the way he just, like cuts off the corset. That was a good move. It was a bold move, but a good one.
And it's underwater.
Yeah.
So that's like, hey, he's already...
No, but he, like, rips off the first one underwater. No, and then when he gets up, I think he, like, rips it.
The other one, and he gives it to the other guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and,
So there's a bit of a fast forward here, right? You know, the weather starts changing, like hurricane force winds. And we both know that that's because of...
I don't... there's a hurricane coming?
Yeah, you remember the wind changes, like, it goes from, like, daytime to, like, nighttime, raining, wind.
Oh, because the Black Pearl's there.
Yeah, they're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, you know, they're making their way through the island, and then, like, I literally have in my notes that the British troops are legit, like, stormtroopers. Like, there's, like, 20-something... There's, like, 20-something guys, and none of them hit them. Like, none of them could fire. Like, where do they get these guys?
I was watching the movie, and out loud to myself in bed, I was like, did these men just train with stormtroopers? Because truly, no one can get a shot. Like, this is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, not that we're wanting them to shoot Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then that's the end of the movie.
Exactly. I was like, okay, like, thank goodness, but also, where do they train you?
Yeah, I mean, they could have nicked him.
Yeah.
They didn't even hit, like, his hat or anything, like...
No. They were just shooting everywhere.
The worst. Yeah. Like, I'd fire them.
I mean, yeah. I do like stormtroopers, though, so I'm just gonna... That's for a different day, but...
Yeah. And then, you know, later on we see one of the famous, like, sword fights.
Yes.
With William Turner.
And Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
And it is such a good fight.
Yeah.
And as you're watching it, just the music, because all the music, the score for this movie is just the best. the best. It makes me want to fight. Like, I was in bed, like, pretending I was sword fighting. So the cats got scared, but that's okay. It's just great. It's like, it really sets the scene. Like, even if you get kind of bored at one point in the movie because, like, there's, like, not enough going on, like, then, like, when they start fighting and then you hear the music and it all comes together so nicely. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I literally wrote, like, yes, at minute 25, we find ourselves in the famous ensemble of music and dance and battle that we see throughout the whole Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
And that is, you know.
It's legit, like, the same thing as, like, Star Wars and how they zoom out and somebody just stares out into the distance, you know, like, or even, like, Fast and the Furious, where they're all huddled around, like, a table, and they're like, all right, this is the master plan, this is the heist, this is how we're going to do it. And it's just something that you expect out of every Pirates of the Caribbean movie. So,
yeah.
And then a little bit after that, after the fight, you know, it's basically just like chit chat, you know, and then you get to see that famous scene of where they're underwater with the boat upside down.
Oh yes, but wait.
Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Let's back it up.
Yeah.
Because I made a note of this because when you're a kid watching this, you don't get some of the jokes that they make, right?
Uh-huh.
So, while Will Turner and Jack Sparrow are just out there sword fighting and, like, towards the end, I realized that he starts, like Jack starts telling Will, like, oh, like, because Will tells him that he practices for 3 hours a day. That's what he does. Mm-hmm. And Jack's really like, bruh, you ain't got nothing else to do but practice for 3 hours a day. And then he's like, you're not a eunuch, are you? And I laughed so hard. I was cracking up by myself because I was like, I never understood this when I was growing up. Like, this was, like, just over my head completely. And now I thought it was hilarious. So I just like to, like, get into all these little jokes, like, now that I realize what they're saying, and didn't in third grade because I didn't know what that was in third grade.
Yeah, Jack even says, like, hey, you should find yourself a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because you have just too much free time.
He says, are you otherwise incapable of wooing said strumpet? And I wrote that down too because I loved it. It was quite the line. And yes. This is when the dog comes up with the keys. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just like the ride. And then fast forwarding, but Little Miss Lizzie Swan, she is more concerned about not wanting to get married than about the fact that, like, Jack is gonna, like, slit her throat at one moment. He, like, pretends to do it, but she still really does not care. She's just like, I don't want to do this whole marriage thing. Like, this is bullshit. Which, you know, like I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
She'd rather be taken out than...
Yeah. Just
proposed.
kill me.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Man, was that before or after the scene? No, that's before the scene where they get the interceptor when they're underwater with that boat.
I believe so because let me see. I wrote that, and then I wrote, when Jack escapes the prison, or he's, like, confusing some of the prisoners, they're talking about the Black Pearl, and that's when it's still, like, getting there, so they haven't completely seen it yet, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's when, like, they're all like, oh, but those are all stories. And he's like, because everybody dies when they see the ship. And he's like, if there's no survivors, then where do the stories come from, I wonder? Yeah. And then all the prisoners are like, oh, he got a point.
Yeah.
And then right after that, my next note is a shit show is occurring. So at that point, I think it's when, you know, everything is just happening.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten to that point.
Yeah. Where they're starting to pillage the town and, like, Lizzie Swan, hashtag Lizzie Swan.
Hashtag Lizzie Swan, that is her new name.
Is trying to hide in her mansion. And
oh, yes.
And I remember this cut scene where, like, the door opener guy, like, the guy who's, like, always seeing that somebody's not at the door.
Uh-huh.
Like, he literally has, like, maybe 10 seconds in this movie, and he just gets blown to bits. Like, he's like, ding dong, opens the door, blown to bits. You never see him again. I don't even remember what his face looked like. Did he have a name? Who knows?
Hey, you know what? I don't know.
But he probably got paid more those 10 seconds than...
Then I get paid in, like, a month, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I want my own like door opener guy.
Yeah, I'm sure the guy that did play the role, he's like, the director's like, all right, so you're gonna hit the doorbell, you're gonna walk over there, you're gonna open the door, and you're gonna get shot and die. And he's probably like, promise?
Plot twist, he is the director. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, maybe it is Jerry Bruckheimer, you know?
I don't know what he looks like, to be honest. So, yeah, then you see that Will Turner is a badass. And then my next note, which I was so confused about, she's like, oh, can I have a parlay? Is that a parlay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, did she study Pirate 101? Like, how does she know that this is the term? And then she starts, like, just, like going back. She's like, I know that it says it in this document. And I'm like, ma'am, how?
Yeah, she drops names.
She drops, like, the study that this came from. Yeah. I felt like I was, like, listening to a case study. Yeah, I'm like, is this just common knowledge around these parts? Like, you know, obviously I'm not from that time period. Maybe it is common knowledge. Maybe she just studied pirates. She did always want to be a pirate since she was, like, 13. She's had that pirate life in her. Yeah. But I don't know.
Like, William Turner has extra time to make swords, and she has extra time to read about
to study, pirates. You know, piratology.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Study of piratology.
You know, we all do things in our spare time.
Yeah.
And hers is studying pirates.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really have anything from here till Tortuga, because I thought Tortuga's like when I really woke up. You know, I was just like, oh shit, this totally takes me back to like Disney World and all that, like the...
So let me see what I have here. I have that this is when you finally see like the skeleton forearm, like in the moonlight. Like you don't see a full-blown skeleton yet, and that's when Jack is like, so there is a curse. So even he's realizing that like this is real.
Yeah.
Like shit is about to get real.
Yeah.
And also this is when Miss Lizzie Swann gets on gets kidnapped by Captain Barbosa. There we go. Yeah. I was gonna say something wrong, but anyways.
Barbarita. Hashtag Barbie.
Hashtag Barbie. Hashtag Captain Barbie and hashtag Lizzie Swann.
Where's Ken, yo?
Okay. And then the captain's like, well, I don't really care about the medallion. And Lizzie's like, all right, well, that's cool then. I'm gonna drop it. And then she like fake drops it and everybody's like, whoa! And then she's like, ha, got your ass. You all really do care about this shit.
The medallion.
Everyone was shook, okay?
Yeah. Especially Barbie.
Especially Barbie. Captain Barbie. And then this is when like Jack is like, asks Will Turner like, oh, like, what would you do for this girl? And without flinching, without thinking about it, like, Will Turner's just like, I would die for her. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Goals. Hashtag goals. Hashtag Will Turner is goals. Okay? He's just like, I would die for her. No questions asked. I don't know.
That's quite bold.
He was 8, you know? He knew what he wanted. And he was willing to die for it. And, you know, good for him.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. Oh, then my favorite note that I made in the, you know, all of my notes says, any and all of Jack Sparrow's facial expressions. Gold. They are gold. Any expression he makes, whether he is the main character in the scene, whether he is in the background, I live for them. They give me life.
Yeah, I mean, you do the same thing. You make all these faces all the time. That's what gets you in trouble.
I do make, you know, just my face speaks for itself. That's why I'm just, you know, quiet sometimes. And it does get me in trouble. And then my next note is, let's not talk about me getting in trouble. My next note is when Miss Lizzie Swann is eating with Captain Barbie. And she's like there with her like knife and fork, and she is a little lady, and he's like, I know you're hungry, please eat. He's and like, homegirl goes in. Yeah. Like she is just in everything. She is slurping. She is just taking bites out of like this. Yeah. I think I said bikes instead of bites. I'm so sorry. I totally meant bites. Out of like this turkey leg.
Yeah. And then Captain Barbie's like being a creep and just like, oh, yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's weird, dude. Like, that's weird.
And he's like, swallow his apple. And he's just like, what?
Yeah, and then at that point, she's like, Like I think maybe she's, I don't know, maybe
First
Snow White was created before this, because
turkey legs with apples, like, I don't know, that's like a no
maybe
for me.
not a good mix, maybe not a good combo, like, I don't know. I guess at like Thanksgiving you have turkey and then apple pie, but I don't know about like turkey leg.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is 1574 or whatever.
Yeah.
So
maybe it like cuts out the grease, because turkey legs are like pretty greasy, and then like the apple is like clean, and I don't know, she has to watch her figure.
From the corset.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she already can't breathe, so
yeah,
she's fucking up already. It's the latest trend in London, girl. Snap, gotta get to it.
I would have been like, Dad, this is too fucking small. I need a bigger size. But no, Miss Lizzie Swann just put that shit on like a champ. And then this is when we're like, he's talking about all the pieces, all of the like Aztec pieces, how they have to be like put together, and then blood has to be repaid.
Yeah, not put together like a Lego, but just put together like like as a collection.
Put together like my life. No, I'm just kidding. Then they would be all over the place. So they need to all be collected and gathered in one area. Blood needs to be repaid. So yeah.
That's all I could give you. Can't give me anything else.
Then this is getting to my favorite scene, where it's revealed that everyone turns into a skeleton because the curse is real. But that's not my favorite part. My favorite part is the little monkey being a little skeleton. He's so cute. He's a little skeleton monkey. And he's just a little rascal. He's just trying to steal things, and he is adorable.
Fun fact, his name is Jack.
That is right.
Yeah.
I think I wrote that down later when I realized his name was Jack.
Yeah.
So, and let's see. Then, also, just my favorite pirates besides Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't know their names. I wrote Tweedledee and Tweedledum on my notes, but it's the guy with like the glass eye. That's not really glass.
It's wood.
Yes, it's wood because it's splinters.
Yeah.
Yes, it's splinters.
I gotta say, like, legit, my favorite is Mr. Gibbs. He's like the dude with like the long white hair on the sides. Oh, see, if we're talking about Tortuga.
Okay, I know. Okay.
Wait, we totally should.
Okay, we should. We should. Let's give Tortuga a chance. It deserves its time, and now is its time.
Yeah. No, it's legit in all caps. A fucking shit show.
Tortuga.
Yeah. Is that a real place?
I don't know. I don't know. I would have to look that up. But there's like a music festival that happens in Fort Lauderdale called Tortuga.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know.
It's probably also a shit show. But
I bet it is.
So, I legit wrote that Tortuga totally reminds me of the Pirates ride at Disney, except for the slapping part. You don't get slapped in Disney, y'all. I mean, you could barely vape. But it's legit. It's 1-to-1. Like, there's a part in the ride where I think it's like towards the middle where you just see like everybody like partying and like just getting drinking on, like there's like a lady that's like slapping somebody else. Actually, you know what? Yeah, there is slapping in the ride.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that was taken oth though.
Oh,
they like
God.
remodeled the ride more recently than when they added Jack Sparrow, and they like added they modified some of the parts. Because before they were, like, giving women up for, like, prostitution. And Disney was like, that's not family friendly. Let's take this off. And I don't know. I think there was, like, a redhead who was, like, I don't know what they were doing with her. But now she, like, runs shit. Like, she's one of the pirates in the ride now, too. I don't know. I know they switched her up a bit. Like, she's still in the ride, but now she's doing something different. She changed up, her life choices.
Yeah, she went to college.
Yeah,
got a degree,
She made improvements.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just love, like, that scene where they're all fighting. It's such a shit show. Like, I don't think I've ever seen another movie with, like, that much chaos in, like, 5 minutes. I mean, like, you see, like, hookers, drunks, fights, pirates, a shit ton of beer, I legit had to, like, I'm telling you this, while I was watching this movie for, like, this review, I paused it, went to my fridge, got a Coors Light, you know, if Coors Light is listening, I would love to be a sponsor. But I mean, I had to like just, you know, go to my fridge and get a beer because like I just saw everything, all the shit show going on, and then like we get introduced to like Mr. Gibbs. You know, he's like sleeping with the pigs.
Oh yes, yes.
And they wake his ass up with like a bucket of water.
Yes.
And then you know, he's like, oh, isn't it bad luck to wake up a man when he's sleeping and dreaming? And he's like, oh, but here's how I counteract my curse with that. I propose to said man that is dreaming with a new job for, you know, more money. And then Will Turner's like, oh, I got another bucket. Just slap him up with that. And then it's like, boy, I was already awake. He's like, oh, but you smell. And he's just like, oh, yeah. You're right.
It's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah. I also started counting the word savvy and how many times I started using it. So I was at 6 at this point.
Okay.
And this was at 1 hour. So exactly 1 hour, we have 6 savvies.
Okay, so yeah, that's a, you know, it was a term that was frequently used back then.
Yeah.
I can see that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make some noise because I need to adjust my leg because it is cramping. So that was our brief pause. Go get a beer if you want to. Specifically Coors Light, since Felix wants to be sponsored by them.
Yes. My shameless plug. Coors Light. I actually went to the factory. Anyways.
Also, just, you know, very random, but Felix did pick this week's movie. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought it was shorter than fucking 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I thought it'd be, like, friendly for everybody, but...
Yes. So, next week, I get to pick a movie. Okay. Let's continue. We'll talk more about that at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, so Tortuga happened before, because then, now they're already, like, seeing everybody, all these, you know, cursed pirates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, actually, yeah, you're right, because I have later in my notes where it's like Elizabeth is talking to Captain Barbie about the ship, and we learn about the gold trinkets. It's from Cortez conquering the Aztecs, and that happened, I actually Googled this in Wikipedia, so that happened around 1519. Okay. And then Barbie says that he misses the taste of things and legit feels nothing. Same. And,
okay.
Yeah, and then a little bit after that, you hear the parrot. This is where they're finalizing their crew with Captain Jack Sparrow and Will Turner, and the parrot. You know the parrot that talks to the blind, not the blind guy.
He's mute. He doesn't have a tongue. It was cut out.
Yeah, and funny enough, like the parrot actually says like "dead men tell no tales."
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, and that's like the last movie in the franchise. So. Did they plan this all along?
Hey, you know what? Maybe they did.
Unsolved mysteries.
Hashtag BuzzFeed Unsolved. Hashtag I love Ryan and Shane so much. That is all. And let us continue. Yeah. And then that's where I wrote like that kind of we're at the same page now, because this is where I wrote about like the Aztec pieces and how the blood had to be repaid. So we have made it to the same part of the film.
Yes.
This part always gets me because right after, like, remember, he cuts Miss Lizzie Swan's hand, and then he's just like she thought she had to die, and she's like, that's it, that's all the blood, and he was like, yeah, all right. And then they're like, how do we know if the curse is broken? And Captain Barbie just shoots Homeboy without even second guessing. He's just like, well, if he has to go, he has to go. But the curse was not broken.
No.
So Homeboy gets to live to see another day, and then that's when, you know, Captain Jack comes back, and he's asking for a parlay as well, but he says parsnip, parsley, partner, and then the one with the glass eye, he's like, oh, it's a parlay you want, and everybody else is just like, why would you say it? Why would you tell him? Like, the rest of the crew just kind of looks at him like, bruh. Yeah. And then my next note says, bombs, yelling, water. Where the fuck did the medallion go? The monkey has it. And that's what happened in my mind while watching that part.
Yeah, but that's after they rescue her, and she's on the interceptor with the crew.
Yes.
And I actually have it like Like, they legit, there's a scene there where they bring in, like, the crew from Fast and Furious, because they're literally drifting the fucking boat. Like, they drop an anchor.
I was so confused. I was like, I did not see anyone from the Fast and the Furious in this film.
Like,
please.
Like, you see, like, half of the crew, half of the cast, we could call them crew, right? Because they're,
the crew.
You know, they're called the family.
The crew.
Yeah. No, they literally, they're trying to outrun them, and so they, like, dump all the shit out of the ship.
Oh, and, yes. They're like, get rid of things, and they're just dumping stuff. Yeah. You're right.
And then, like, the black girl's still catching on, and then they're like, oh, we could go to, like, those shallow, like, beach.
Oh, yes.
What do they call that shit? In
the sandbar?
Sandbar, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they try to go there, and then they realize, like, oh, like, we're totally gonna...
Which Miss Lizzie Swan suggests, because she has continued studying her pirates and her seas, and she knows what the fuck she's talking about.
She's got a fucking doctorate.
She's great, yo. Yeah. She's great.
And so she's like, drop the anchor, and they're like, have you lost your mind, woman? And then, you know, they drifted. Yeah.
And I actually love that because she is so beautiful. Like, it's Keira Knightley that plays her, right?
Yeah.
Who is clearly gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then she's also just so smart because as the movie, like, progresses, like, she is a main character. Like, they don't put her to the side as, like, this damsel in distress. Like, she just needs to be rescued. Like, don't get me wrong. She has her moment. Like, she can't breathe. She's in a corset. But after that, like, she a bad bitch contest. She is in first place. She is out there telling the pirates what to do. She don't give a fuck, okay? She's like, I know my shit. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if it's not my place to say shit. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And I love that for her.
Yeah.
So...
Anyways, they end up, catching up to them, destroying the ship, blowing it up, and then they think that Will Turner died because he was underneath trying to get the gold trinket.
Yes.
And turns out that he is fine. He's Bootstrap's kid.
Yes.
William Bootstrap? Bill Boot?
Yes.
Bootstrap, yes. Whatever. And he finds out that, like, oh shit, they actually killed my dad. You know, long story short, they make a deal. They drop off Keira Knightley.
How could you forget Miss Lizzie Swan?
Yeah,
right
Lizzie
now?
Swan. Sorry, yeah, they drop her. They drop her and Jack Sparrow on that same island where he got stuck.
Yes.
And apparently, supposedly, according to legend, he riled up some turtles and he made a raft out of them.
Okay.
But then we find out that that's actually a lie.
Yes.
That it was a rum smuggler's paradise.
Yes, exactly. But wait, because before that, in my notes, ship blew the fuck up. That is a direct quote from my notes. Then Will Turner comes in like Captain Save-A-Ho, and we all know he did. Mm-hmm. He just was there right when he was needed. And then one of my favorite parts of the movie, so I wrote down this quote, is when Jack Sparrow looks at Will and he's like, don't do anything stupid. And Will's just like, I'll kill myself right now. And Jack's like that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my goodness. Another moment where I stopped and actually paused the film to laugh because I was laughing so hard. And then, now Liz and Jack are on the island. They are both drunk and having a good time. Well, Liz is not really that drunk, we come to find out. Because, like, he passes out and she's, like, faking it. Like, she's been drinking a little bit, but, like, she's not, like, at his level.
Yeah.
Which is, it's hard to get
at his level.
Then... Yes, then we have Tweedledee and Tweedledum talking about bootstrap, and then they start laughing because they think they're funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. And then we get to the underwater skeletons in the moonlight, which is bad fucking ass.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, too, because, like, I legit have a giant pause or, like, a space in my notes, and I'm just like, it really doesn't get interesting until, like, that action sequence, because that shit looks like some Game of Thrones type shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like before we had the privilege of White Walkers, we had, the curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah.
And all these skeletons walking underwater, and then they hit, they're people, they're pirates, and then as they hit that moonlight under the water, they all turn into skeletons. So that was so cool.
Yeah.
Definitely wonderful scene, wonderful sequence. Loved it. And then I think this Liz, like Liz, let me not call her Liz, let me call her Lizzie.
Yeah, like Lizzie McGuire over here.
She has left the building. Like, I think Jack wakes up and he's like, where's homegirl? Because, like, he can't find her.
Yeah.
And then this is also at night. We see, once again, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, as I will call them, because I don't know their names. And they're dressed in, like this, like, all lace little dress. Yes.
Victorian dresses with the umbrellas.
On this tiny little boat.
Yeah.
And I am cracking up.
Yeah. It's all just a deploy to get, like, the main crew to come up to the ship and, like, kill everybody.
Yes, but then they don't do very well, because then they start arguing with each other, and they turn around, and then the moonlight hits them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, all goes to shit, because...
Yeah. And then the regular crew is fighting, like, all the skeletons. And I gotta be, like, you know... You gotta be, like, bold as fuck to fight a skeleton that's a pirate.
Yeah.
And just, like, what do you aim for? Like, their head, you know? The
also,
goofy hats.
In one of the scenes, and I don't think it's now, I think it happened, like, you know, in one of the previous scenes, is when you see hashtag Captain Barbie, and he is a skeleton because he is in the moonlight, and he drinks, and you see, like, all of it going down, and I thought it was so cool, too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right. Like, I don't like you, but this is pretty cool. Gotta admit it, you know?
Yeah. I can just see why he's trying to feel again. He feels nothing. Just to feel something.
Yes. Felix and Captain Barbie are just trying to feel something. It's okay. It's understandable.
Yeah.
And then
it goes back to that scene where they say parlay, or no?
No, that was before, I think. Now my next note is just when it's like, hell yeah, Will's cutting his hand and Captain Jack is shooting at the same time, like tag team champs.
Yeah.
So that's what I had next. Because it's true, he cuts his hand and then, you know, Mr. Sparrow just fires that gun. Like, at the same exact time. It was... It was great. They worked together there.
So yeah, we haven't seen this movie. You know, the good guys win, the bad guys die. I mean, it's like a superhero movie.
Yes, it is. Then, you know, we save Jack.
Mm-hmm. We save everybody. Yeah.
And Will and Lizzie kiss, and they get to be in love, and I am super happy. I'm here. I'm for it. I ship them.
Yeah.
I ship them hard. They're doing great. I ship them on a ship. Get it? Because they're pirates. Okay, and Jack gets the Black Pearl back, which is really what he wanted.
Yeah. He gets it for like 2 minutes. And then the ending scene is like him getting sentenced to death, and he's on the, what do you call that? Not the chopping block.
Guillotine?
The guillotine, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we get like literally like a wild appearance from El Zorro, where like he has like this goofy ass hat and he's like trying to save.
But he saves him.
He saves him, but did you not remember that hat?
No, I don't remember the hat.
It's like a 10-gallon hat with like a feather on it.
No, I think the love had overtaken me.
Oh yeah, you're just stuck on that.
I love love.
Yeah.
I think that's like a direct quote from the show You, but yeah. I feel like I've brought in 20 different things that aren't pirates, but it's fine. It's fine. We're here for it.
Yeah, no, I'm doing a quick Google search if I can find you that hat, because it's just, oh, here we go. Oh, come on. I mean, you're telling me he doesn't look like El Zorro?
He does. He looks exactly like Zorro, actually.
Or like Robin Hood or some shit. Like, yo, you're in the wrong movie set, sir.
Remember,
you're in the wrong movie set.
My note from earlier, Will coming in like Captain Save-A-Ho, and here he comes again at the end of the film.
Like, the director's like, in Hollywood, he's like, you're in the wrong movie set. Like, no. It's the one.
No, he's just like, you know what this movie needs? A touch of Zorro. He is dressed exactly like Zorro.
You're telling me you fucking.
Is that what?
What?
What did you say?
You're telling me you fucking.
I said I had a crush on Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Which I do believe that if you were, you know, into men at that age, if you were, you know, you were young and you were like, wow, I love pirates. You either wanted to, because I was going to say if you were a young little girl, but that doesn't really matter. You could have been a boy. You could have had a crush on them. It doesn't matter. But you either had a crush on Will Turner or you had one on Captain Jack Sparrow. You were either a Will Turner girl or boy or a Jack Sparrow girl or boy. And I was all about Jack Sparrow.
This is like Twilight all over again. You're either like teen.
No. Don't talk about Twilight right now. That's for a different episode.
Okay, all right. Okay, we're going to cut it there. So I'll definitely post this photo on our Instagram.
Please post it.
We'll definitely have it, for everybody that's listening so that,
it's at the official podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's no T at the end.
No, because it's not the podcast. It's the podcast, me.
PODCASS.
Yes.
So, I'll definitely have that. Actually, that'll be our first post.
Yes, it will be. And then you can come listen to this if you see the picture first, or you can listen to this and then go see the picture and follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And let's see.
So would you watch this again? Clearly, we watched this like 10 times.
I would definitely watch this again. Obviously, when and if I have children, they will be watching Pirates. Like, this is a film that they're going to watch.
Yeah.
For sure. Obviously not when they're like babies, when they get a little bit older, but for sure they are going to be watching this. So, I'll definitely watch it again. I might watch the second one now, which I also think is just as long. It might be like 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I remember the second one so vividly. Like, I remember that there's, like, a scene similar to the one in this film where, like, they're all underwater and they're walking in the moonlight, but now they're, like, fish. Like, there's that hammerhead one.
Yeah.
And, so, maybe watching that soon. And, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say?
I think it's, definitely... I don't know if I'd rewatch it anytime soon. It is a long movie. It is a classic, so it does set, like I said, into motion the love relationship I have with pirates, and secretly wanting to be a pirate. I will say, man, some of the CGI is horrible.
It is, but it was 2003.
It's 2003, so I honestly hated it first until I realized, like, oh shit, this is a 2003 movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's at least like leagues above what's that movie called, Spy Kids?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's
agreed.
Yeah. It's also like directed and produced by like Jerry Bruckheimer, who did like Supernatural on the CW. So he has like that like creepy, like dark undertone that I appreciate, and you touched upon like the music and like the score of the whole
music
movie.
is great.
Yeah.
Like, I know that they have like they're called like candlelit concerts here in Miami.
Yeah.
And you go to them and they sometimes just do like a variety of scores, and if not, they'll just do one from like one scene. And I know before, when like the Adrian Arch Center, I think I said that wrong, was having orchestras come, there was like an orchestra that would perform like just like Star Wars music, and if there was one that would just do the score from all the Pirates movies, I would sit there, I would be there for hours, I would be enjoying myself. I would probably bring a sword and try to fight and get kicked out, but I digress. So this is a good film though, in my opinion. Like, it's not like a movie I'm like, oh, this is a bad movie, like I can't believe I like this so much. Like, I'm not saying it's the best film, but I'm saying it's good. I think it was nominated for Oscars. It was good enough to be nominated for Oscars at that time. Yeah. So,
and it's your boy, Johnny Depp.
And it is my boy. And I know that there's like, a lot of people have a lot of like controversial like views and different opinions. But I've been in love with Johnny Depp since forever. I think this movie kickstarted it, and then I just had this whole like Johnny Depp like kick where I would watch like Edward Scissorhands, What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I wasn't allowed to watch Dazed and Confused because I was a little girl, but I tried to watch every Johnny Depp movie that I could. Yeah. And in adulthood, I continued watching Johnny Depp movies. So
yeah.
Yes. And I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that's it.
And Felix picked this film, like I said. So next week I will be picking the film, which I have not chosen yet. but I have been on like a creepy kind of kick. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Maybe you'll put a hint on Instagram.
Maybe I will. Also, if you guys ever want us to like review a specific movie, please let us know.
Yeah.
We're down. We'll watch it. Especially, I would love to do a movie because right now we're doing movies that we've seen and like want to watch again to review. But I would love like a movie recommendation that I maybe have never seen before, so that I get to go into it just like completely fresh and be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So there is that, and yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I mean, just stay tuned on, anchor.fm/theofficialpodcast. They could follow us on
Instagram at theofficialpodcast. That's CASS.
Of course, for your name.
And with that, I will leave you all with the last line of this movie and one of my favorites. Drink up, me hearties. Yo ho.
Yo ho.
We're out.